am live. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I
okay,
can hear you
okay.
now.
Right,
All right.
I'll turn off. Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like just me and you, just two of us here. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna copy and I'm gonna drop the link now. Oh, Andy. Hi, Andy. How are you doing? How are you doing? I can't hear anybody else for some reason. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can somebody say something? If put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Yeah, can you you can hear me. Okay, okay. Right, okay. Okay. Right, okay. Well, we can wait and hang on a little bit to see if anybody else comes in, but this conversation is about Carnival and how you think it went, and whether it loses its whole focus as a celebration of the end of slavery. Uh, okay, you can. Right, right, okay. Well, we can just wait until. Oh, this will be good. This will be okay. Fine. But I think we could just sort of like the three of us. I think that's included group. So it's just good. I never expected to do it today. I wanted to do it with you. What do you think? How do you think Carnival went? Andy, you was at Carnival. Were you one of the event security? Was somebody with a jacket? Come up, hit the link and come up. 'Cause I saw you with one of those jackets on, and I thought you was an event before one of the events. Come up, Andy. Hit the link and come up. I'm sure you can have a couple. But it's like a front room anyway. It is a front room anyway. So even if there's a couple of people in the chat, I mean, how many people do you have in your front room at a time? Andy, hit the link. I want to know what you was doing at Carnival because I saw pictures of you. Hit the link. Hit the link. Mm, 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 mm. Am I going to have to end this? Oh, you've gone now. Andy's gone. Come back. Pictures where I saw on your story you had a bit a high vis jacket on at Carnival. Okay, no problem. Sorry about that. Hopefully you can still hear me. It just had the internet went down for a minute. It's like had its problems, you know. So are you still there, Andy? Are you still there? I was just about to get some more people. Let's see. Um you still there, yeah? There's one person in the chat. Don't know if it's you. It's hot. It's muggy. So we're still waiting on more people coming. I'd like to play some music if I can. Let's see what I can do. This is just the music that's on here because I haven't prepared. It wasn't meant to happen yet. So Who am I? Who's the one person? Is it you, Ashma? Oh, right, okay. Oh, hello. Somebody else is there. African Caribbean Discord Talks. Yeah. Well, I'm going to drop the link because it doesn't seem, I haven't prepared this very well because it was just yesterday kind of finished and I didn't give anyone a time to breathe. I just, um, I think I will just drop the link and we can just get right into it. And just talk about Carnival and how you think it went. Are we moving away from what Carnival's all about? I grew up in Notting Hill. I've played pan in the steel band. I've just seen various stages of what was. I mean, I went through the riot and stuff. Um, Carnival was always an enjoyable thing, whether I was playing or whether I was just sort of like partying in it. But to me, it may seem strange. I always knew what Carnival was about, and I always looked at the cultural aspect of what Carnival was about, which was the end of slavery and the celebration of the end of slavery. And my fears were, as it went on, and people say that they've seen this for years going on, but but I think it's since the pandemic and we've had 2 years off, I expected it to come back with a bang. And what I saw was Glastonbury in the city. And this is a cultural event, really. This carnival's a cultural event. And do we just give it up and say, well, let it be a European festival? Do we just give it up? And Sunday was very disappointing to me. And just little things irritated me. Like there was a guy that was on All Saints Road, which is a hub of revolution, let's face it. And he was just selling his free drinks and stuff. And then the police around, there was an undercover cop on him. An undercover cop had spotted him and got all the police and they surrounded him. He just had a little trolley and, I mean, and then facing them, there was all these youths sucking on balloons with, what is it, nitrous oxide? And that really was irritating. I mean, Carnival was a place where black people could, older people really could earn a bit of money from food, and dance, like a big wake. And what I saw was Glastonbury in the city, and I'm disappointed. So if anybody wants to come up and talk about that, let's talk about it. African Caribbean diaspora. So, come up, the link's there, come up, talk about what you think, talk about what you think and what the solutions are to Carnival. Because if we carry on like we are, it's going to be just a big European festival rave up in the park. Do we accept that? Somebody said to me, "But what can you do about it?" I mean, even my little voice, if I said something, I feel like I'm doing something about it. If I say something, a lot of people are noticing it and just leaving it and not saying anything about it. And then when something happens, they start moaning. Come on, tell me what you thought and what the solution may be. Because a lot of people have been moaning behind the scenes. I've spoken to a lot of people that are very upset because they can't do it. I mean, the streets are less crowded. That's fine, but I don't understand. On Sunday, why weren't there was no black people? It was the majority was non-black people at the carnival on Sunday. That's what I thought. You see the same thing? Why aren't people coming out? It could be to do with COVID. It could be. It could be to do with COVID. But I still would have, because it's our celebration, I still would have expected more. And the majority to be up. Yeah. Hi. Hello, African Diaspora Talks.
Hi, good night. Good night. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not so bad, thank you.
Good, good.
Um,
Yeah.
I like the topic.
Yeah.
Um,
We need to talk, don't we? We need to have that conversation. I feel like it's like an elephant in the room. And I'm not, this isn't a racist conversation. This is not to be, people should enjoy carnival. Everybody should enjoy carnival. But it's moving right away from what it is, what it was. I saw it. I grew up in the area. I remember coming, I played pan. I was on floats when parents were grabbing their kids off the float because all the bottles and the police and the violence was going on. I was there. I was there for that. I was there. I used to come home on a Saturday night after a rave up, a party, and uh, you know, my African Caribbean elder was cooking dumplings in the street,
mm.
ready for the Sunday. Do you know what I mean? It was her time to make some money.
You see that I come from a different generation, so like you're coming from like the sort of more purer carnival generation. Like for me, for instance, and I grew up in the area as well. You know, by let's say around Fernhead Road area.
Yeah, yeah, I live near there now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I grew up around sort of Fernhead Road area.
Mm.
But for me, I'm born in the late 90s. So for
Yeah.
me, growing up in the 2000s, and I'm in my 20s now, early to mid 20s now. Like for my experience of carnival growing up, there was a lot of the violence and things like that that used
Yeah.
to happen back then. So now, like, I'm at an age where I kind of should be going to carnival. I guess what doesn't appeal to me about carnival is some of the behavior that does go on, but
Hmm.
also like the authenticity of it. And what did alarm me, and I like that you mentioned about how they sort of refer to it as a street party. I remember, I guess it was like pre-COVID or whatever, that I saw it advertised as Europe's biggest street party, which I found to be very, very offensive
I do.
because
I do.
because you know okay, this is just advertising, and they could say, well, it's just to appeal to people. But you see, in many ways, as much as some might say, well, it's for everybody, I feel personally that carnival isn't about everyone enjoying themselves, more so but the fact of the history of it. Because carnival was like the release for our ancestors to be able to loosen up a little bit after 364 days of forced labor and work, and only then for at some point the British to ban it as well. And then this thing was slowly brought back and things like that. So there's no reverence, there's no respect towards its history. For everyone, it's just a time to meet up and drink up and play the fool for a little bit, for 2 days or whatever, and then that's it.
Mm.
I just the it's not Notting to me. Notting Hill Carnival is a little bit of an affront to like the actual carnival tradition and what it stands for and where it came from and what it should continue to be. Like, it should have been gate kept to a certain degree,
Yeah.
I feel.
You know, think of one of my friends mentioned, do you think they could do Diwali like this?
No, of
Do you
course
think
not.
they
Of
can't?
course not.
So
The
why? Why?
Diwali, you see, and that's the thing. Like, Diwali is a perfect example, right? That anyone can participate in it to a point, but Diwali is not about everybody enjoying Diwali no, no. It's
Mhm.
about the Hindu festival, and it's
Right.
centered around their customs and their beliefs, and what
Their
is
culture.
authentic to them,
Yeah.
right? Their culture. And what annoys me with carnival, with Notting Hill carnivals to be specific, is it becomes an everybody thing, and then it becomes meaningless because
Yeah.
nobody respects the history, what it means. Like, I would love to actually see where carnival culture is actually celebrated and the history is put in it. Because I don't see certain costumes like we should be seeing certain
Right,
costumes.
right.
There's no history there. You should be able to see that and go, oh, I recognize this, I recognize that, or let me learn. This is about a learning thing.
In
But to
it,
people,
yeah,
carnival isn't a thing about learning. It's just go there, get drunk, smoke, wind up on gal,
some
and do
blues.
and break bus stops this year. That's what we're doing, is breaking
Yeah,
bus
yeah.
stops.
But you know
It's
what?
disgraceful.
What's your name? If you don't.
I don't want to give my name. I don't
Okay.
give my name.
No, but I am. You said when you were born, and you're very young, and I'm I'm honoured. That you have. You're talking like you are, because even though you weren't at the beginnings, or anywhere near the beginnings, you have a good outlook or a good take on what's going on. And it just fills me with something that some of our young people who are our future may be able to save what's going on, may be
I
able
mean,
to.
another thing as well is I feel people have to go back home to experience carnival. Because when I was much younger, my granny took me back to Barbados to celebrate crop over, but not just to go to the thing, but I was part of the band and they dressed me up and all this. You have to go around all day and doing all the festivities and stuff. So that kind of, I remember that, and then comparing it to Notting Hill, it's like chalk and cheese. It's two different things. Like it's a little bit more commercialized now. I feel like even the ones in the Caribbean are more commercialized because of the tourism, and it brings them revenue. But like it's
Oh,
still that reverence there. I think it's just the one here. It's just really just about Westminster Council and Royal Borough making money every August, bring people in. The police get paid overtime, and it's not about what it should be.
I'm dropping a link, Ken. You can come up, because Ken's saying something about the organizers are the problem, and they are the problem. They are the problem.
I agree.
Because definitely they've got to be the problem. We've
They're,
got
they're
one.
not gatekeeping it. They're just
They're not.
organizers,
They're
but
not.
they're
They're
not
just
thinking
going.
about
Yeah, they're going with
they're,
the
they're not
status
thinking about the
quo.
culture.
They go with the
Right.
status quo. Number one, okay, with all the violence that used to go on, the stabbings, and the violence, it was terrible. It was bad. Quite a few. It was. The police anticipated every carnival because of what was going on. So then their solution was to bring in licenses for storeholders and stuff like that. The problem wasn't with the storeholders. So they're bringing in revenue for themselves. So everybody had to have these licenses so everybody can get involved. Do you get my meaning? So
Mm-hmm.
everybody has a chance to make money at Carnival. So they brought in so the big boys came in, the big companies came in, and the little woman that was frying her dumplings couldn't afford those licenses.
Yep.
So you've
And
taken
then again,
away,
that takes the authenticity away.
yeah,
That
you've
that's what
taken
it
that
does.
away from it. You've taken, like you said, the authenticity is gone. They couldn't afford that. And then, well, they obviously know it's a Caribbean celebration, African Caribbean, so they're appropriating food,
Yep.
you know. And I just think that was when it went downhill, really. It went downhill because of that. Taking up, the big boys came in with their vans and their catering trucks and stuff. It wasn't like that. That's not what Carnival, it was home cooked food from people who, you know, the ancestors, it was our ancestors. We're the children of the ancestors. So that's who was celebrating. That's who we were celebrating.
But you see, today
Moved away
you
from
you
all.
can probably ask 50 people. You can get 50 people at carnival, go around each and ask each one of them. Well, at what point did you think about reverence of your ancestors for this event today? None of them would.
Yeah, I
No
wanted
one
to
would
do
say
that.
anything about that.
Yeah, I was meant to do that. I was meant to do that, but I just could. On the Sunday, I just had I was only there for an hour, and I wanted to go home, and I didn't stay out long. I was back, to the Harrow Road, the square, there. I was back there, and I felt more at home there than the whole carnival. And to tell the truth, at one stage, I felt, you know, I, I I felt very deeply that. you know, about the ancestors, and I thought, wow, they're pissing on their grave. People,
Mm,
this is just a rave. This is just a big old street party. It is like what they say, the biggest European festival,
yeah.
rave.
But then you see what I've noticed now, like there's, with the social media, there's this rage culture, this outrage culture. You've offended me. Now if anyone was to just, any other race of people or whatever would just say, oh yeah, Carnival is just that party and it doesn't really mean much, it's just a big party, then everyone on our side, will say, oh, how dare you? How dare you say that? It's more than this. But it's like you don't treat it more than just a
You
street
don't,
party.
yeah,
So
you
how do
don't.
you expect people to respect your culture and you don't even respect it? You don't revere it. You don't even know the history of it. You don't even understand what you're looking at. And I mean, even some of the costumes from Carnival, a lot of it has now been sort of co-opted with the Brazilian Carnival, right?
Well, yeah, there was for the first time I took some video of it. There was a Brazilian band. There was a Brazilian mass band there for the
And
first
okay,
time.
they do have a Carnival culture,
Yeah, they
but
do. They
they
do.
have their own, and I think we have our own, and we have slight differences. And I just feel like it allow the small islands, the Carnival islands, to have their 2 days out of the year type thing,
Yeah, it's only
really and
2 days.
truly.
Well, after George Floyd, in the media, I work in the media, mainstream media. Where it was noticed all of a sudden, us that work in it had noticed it for years, that black people weren't making black films. That other was making black films. So it was that changes were made. Changes were made. I mean, everybody acted as if, oh wow, I didn't know this was going on. Yes, you did. It was purposely, the black people being assistant on the black film so that they can sort of like, get in to the contributors and stuff like that, get in with the contributors. So that changed. And one of my suggestions was that we have Black History Month every year, which is October. At least that month, every black film should be made by, black producers and directors. And that is the case now. That is meant to be the case now anyway. So the way I look at it, it's the carnival's only 2 days. I know we've had problems. I know we've had problems, but I think we've learned by our mistakes, whatever mistakes were made. For 2 days, I think that like the store holders should all be African Caribbean or diaspora. Why not? It's only 2 days out of a whole year, out of 365 days of a year. It's a cultural event, so it should be all cultural food. We don't need the burgers. It's a cultural event. You won't get anything like that, like burgers and fish and chips in Diwali. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean? So it's for 2 days. Why can't we have that? It's our event. It's not even as if, it's ours. We started it by banging bamboo sticks on the ground. That's how Carnival was, back in the day. And then the steel drum came and stuff. It's our event, and my fear is that we'll be so far removed from what it really is that we'll just completely lose it, and it's like we've given it up. Do we give up an event like this? Do we just say, okay, let's go with the flow? It's a sign of the times. I may be older and have grown out of it, but it doesn't change what Carnival is about. It doesn't change that.
I mean, to me, I like, just from my perspective, I would just say let it go. At this point, that I
What?
don't think that there's no,
Really?
but no, it's seriously, I believe let it go, but I don't believe in just let it go. But I mean, there's always a way to not necessarily even to compete with it, but actually start from scratch, because they've taken it. Is what I'm saying. They've taken it. They've tainted it. It's been sold out essentially, and I just don't think that there's any way that you're gonna really, buy it back. But I would rather see something where it gets started over again and done the right way, instead of trying to, you know, sort of fix something that I just don't see that it can be fixed, to be honest.
Really, you don't. But
I
how
don't I
would
don't
we
think it
start
can be
again?
fixed.
How would we start again? The authorities are all up in it. How would we
Um,
start again?
See, that's the thing. It's really all comes down to funding, doesn't it? And the
Mm.
problem is when you take sort of
Carnival has started with no fun.
local authority. No, no, I understand that, but like people would want to sort of go to the local authorities. That's when they get their
Yeah,
paws
they
in
have to
and
have
they
their
take the
power.
control. So it would have to be sort of a voluntary thing, sort of starting up again. But I would say that in this thing, if we were to ever restart it, it would have to be gatekept and kept about African Caribbean culture, no other culture. If you want to come and observe and participate in some things, then yes, fine. But this is not about you and what you want. It's about us enjoying our culture, revering our ancestors for being able to give us something, because there are certain elements in carnival that have gone so far back that we've been able to maintain and adapt, that are important, that shouldn't get lost in some nonsense European street party. It's offensive.
It
It's
is
very
offensive
offensive.
because they've got Glastonbury. Glastonbury's there. Glastonbury's a big thing. You know, um, it was just hard. I mean, to tell the truth, I almost shed a tear on Sunday. Just
Mm.
just just seeing how growing up, my old home was there on Aldridge Road Villas, and Westbourne Park Station was my local station, and I used to skate on the All Saints Road, and even the DJs, they have, they were, the music that they were playing was catering for, not for us. They
Yeah,
weren't
it's,
catering
it's
for
for
us no
everybody.
more.
It's for everybody else. And again, in one breath, especially with like my generation, we're quick to do the finger pointing, culture vulture, and blame everybody else. But you don't even revere it enough to say, well, hang on a second, this is supposed to be our thing. Why are you playing that music?
Yeah. That's it. I mean, to tell the truth, I mean, no shade. There was a DJ called King Tubby who white. He wasn't black. He stuck to the program. Do you know what I mean? He was playing some brilliant music. He was brilliant. You know,
You
but
see?
the other DJs and remember the All Saints Road was a hub of revolution.
Hmm.
If you read the history of Notting Hill,
Yeah.
I mean, they fought. That was a hub of revolution. So, you when you on like both days, you'd go there, you knew that you would see, the regulars, the old school people. They weren't even there. They weren't even there. And then there was this big rave going on.
That's all it's about. It's just become one big money making rave where the police get paid extra, the local authorities are getting a nice little cash injection for
Yep.
August,
Yep.
and that's all. And the vendors and so on and so forth. It's all a money generation thing, and it's just, again, I find it so irritating that in one breath we want to say our culture, but then we literally hand it over to other people and say, yeah, you can make money off of it too. Carnival's for everybody. This is an everyone thing.
It
And I think that's kind
Everybody
of a
can
thing with
enjoy it,
us
but
in
it's not for
general.
everybody. Anybody can enjoy it, but it's not for everybody. It's a cultural event. You can't. Is Diwali for everybody? Can I plot up and
I mean,
Diwali
you
whatever
you
I want?
can, but you have to understand it's about Hinduism for them. It's not about you and what you like. It's about their thing, and if they're nice enough, they'll let you in for you to observe, and
Yeah,
that's it. That's as
yeah.
far as you go. You don't call shots, or you don't have things catered to you. It's either you're coming and you're gonna do it their way, or you don't come at all.
Mm. Welcome, Ken. Welcome.
Yeah,
Welcome.
take me a long time. Technology. I'm,
You're here now. Yeah,
I'm into
yeah.
pen and paper, pen and paper.
She's doing well, isn't she? She's saying, as a young
Oh,
person, she's
yeah,
got it.
yeah. I'm hearing you guys saying all the right things, because that's a we carnival, not them carnival, right? It's
Yeah.
a black thing. How come we have to call it multicultural? That's a
No,
disgrace.
probably.
They don't, as you said, they don't let us into Chinese New Year. They don't let us into Glastonbury. They outprice us. They don't let us out to the Diwali or Eid. But yet, everybody can come to our thing. All right? And look what the disgraceful thing is simply this. Because
Which is not a bad thing. Which is not a bad thing. People can, you know.
but no, but it's supposed to be on our
Hello?
terms.
Yeah.
Right? And as you mentioned about the food truck and stuff, that's supposed to be a Black Pound event, not no white thing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a Black Pounder thing, right? And it's
Oh,
simply
I'm not sure. I think Ken was speaking, but he might be having connection issues. I wasn't sure if it was me.
Oh, I can. Can you hear Ken? African Caribbean diaspora. Can you hear Ken? Hello. Oh, I think she's having some sound problems. Go out and come back in. Go out and come back in.
who, me?
No, not you. We can hear you.
Yeah,
But
but
carry on.
I'm telling you, because I'm Mr. Carnival, right? Rough Diamond, I was in there for 20 odd years. I had the
Mm,
biggest children band, right?
okay.
Over 500 children we used to have, right?
Right.
And what happened was, is like I just loved the energy because we used to teach. I used to teach them what we call synchronized soca dancing
Oh
because
yeah.
it was just not good enough for someone to put on a costume and thinking that's all you do. No, you have to go up there and feel the spirit of the ancestors. Even when I go to schools or go and do my performing, I tell them that soca stands for the sounds of the Caribbean and Africa, right? The
Mm,
connection between my parents from the Caribbean and my great ancestors from Africa. That is the link. So when
mm,
you play that kind of music, it's supposed to inspire you, right? It's supposed to
mm.
bring out the warrior in me. Do you understand?
Right.
But what I find quite simply, where things start to really go wrong is from 2002, right? 2002 is when Lee Jasper got involved, right? Lee
Oh.
Jasper got involved with Ken Livingstone. He became Ken Livingstone's special advisor, right? And what he did, he come into and this was the Queen, some Queen's Jubilee or something, right? This was the time that was happening, right? And what was happening is that Lee Jasper, some time previously, he got run out of Carnival. I had to go Manchester or wherever, right? Because Clear Holder took over, right? And they run him down to Manchester, and he ended up getting some jail time or whatever for whatever he did. He came back as Ken Livingstone's special advisor. And the first thing he did, he came in. I'll never forget it. He came into this is about yes, in the 2001. He came into the Carnival place where all the mass band, because they got the mass band, they've got the static sound system, they've got the calypsos, and they've got the steel pan that
Mm,
makes up the different genre that runs Carnival, right?
mm,
He come in and said, now the shoes are on the foot, and him gonna control thing. And the first thing they do is got the directors of the trust, Clear Holders trustees. She was the CEO, right? They got her, they went against her and got her to resign, right? And in return, the Arts Council and the Carnival, like the Kensington, Chelsea, and police, they all got together and they paid the Carnival something like 2 million pounds, right?
mm,
If they got rid of Clear Holder.
mm,
The reason they got rid of Clear Holder because Clear was stoned to say, no, we're not having no white man run this thing. We're not having no council and police telling us how we must do our thing, right? But when they got rid of her, then it was the police and the council who started running things. The first thing they did, moved the judging point from where it was on Westbourne Park, or where was it? But where anyway, Westbourne Park. I'm not coming, but I know where it was, and now they moved it to where it is now. Where it was before, you used to have a stage, and you had so much excitement that
yeah.
everybody, no matter
Yeah.
how tired you were, when it come to the stage, everybody energized, right?
Mm,
Because you saw yourself on a big screen and stuff. Now they've got a foolish back street something going on. And I'm
I
just
don't even
saying,
know where the judging points were.
yeah,
I don't.
yeah,
I was there when we used to Panorama, which we won twice. I will say, as Paddington Youth, I was there when it used to be Mornington Road School. That's
okay.
what Panorama was. Now you have to pay £20 for adults and £17 for kids. I think that's a lot of money if you've got 3 kids and you want to enjoy the Panorama. I mean, at least make if you are going to charge, at least make the children's price half price.
Listen, what we could have done, because Carnival makes something like 70 to 80 million pounds it bring into the Chancellor's Exchequer. Do you understand? Every year. This is why they won't get rid of Carnival, but they're trying to get more control. It's, as I said, it's Kensington and
They've got
Chelsea.
it, Ken. They've got
Of
it.
course, yes, they have. They're the one that tell us when Carnival start, when Carnival close, what and what you can't do. Now, with all this health and safety, as you said, you don't even have no black stands again, or very few black stands, because they're prices out the market, right?
We could bring that back by saying we demand that all the stands are African Caribbean.
Have an African Caribbean connection.
Yeah,
You understand?
that's it. That's it.
But you're not going to have that, because I tell you what happened, and the biggest issue.
Why Carnival? Why are they?
Let me tell you what the biggest issue is. The biggest issue is you got the mass, because I'm in a mass band, so we love the Carnival, right? So we go around the 3-mile circle, right? But what you have all the static sound system inside that circle. So what happens is that when people come to Carnival, 7% of the people who've come to Carnival initially come for a static sound system.
Yes.
And some of these sound systems have grown so massive, right? So massive, with over 20,000 people that attend them, right? And it's not in a safe environment, right? And what happens is that when people are crossing, instead of taking 3 or 4 hours for the mass band to go round, it now takes 7, 8, 9 hours to go round.
Yeah.
And some of us don't even finish. And then what happens is that it's simply when they used to shut down. I heard this year they shut down at 8 o'clock. Previously it was 7 o'clock they shut down. Right? When they shut down, it doesn't matter where you are inside the Carnival footprint, you had to switch off. Right? Now, can you imagine that if you are in the Carnival footprint and everything just switch off, people can get vexed, right? Whereas before, we used to play our band, like the big lorries. We used to play outside of the Carnival, 1 mile, 2 miles down the road. We would chip down the road with the crowd behind us. So people leaving there in an organized fashion. Now, when they switch off the music, people don't know where to go, what to do. And that's a recipe for trouble, right? When you have too much alcohol, you have too much testosterone, you have drugs in that, right? That is a recipe for disaster. And I think that I find unforgivable. Since the police, since they took it from Claire Hold in 2002, right? What they've done, the police 2-3 weeks before the Carnival start, they go and kick off people's doors saying, they're about to come and cause trouble at the Carnival. So we just doing this to safeguard the Carnival. And none of the organizers stop them from doing that. They want us to criminalizing our young people. If that was the case, that these people are coming to F up our Carnival, you know what? Let people like me and elders go and talk to the youth them and say, listen,
you
can't bring that madness. We know who you are. Come with a good vibe. Because if we have to stay off, don't come, right? And at least nobody get locked up, and they will start respecting, right? The police don't have our respect. So how on Carnival Day you think you're going to get respect from our people who got no faith in you?
But I mean, someone gets stabbed. If it's one person, if it's 5 person, it's sad. It's painful and it's sad because that kid doesn't go home. But do you feel that the fact that one person got killed was successful in their eyes? Listen.
Anytime there's trouble out there, the mainstream people love it. They love that kind of thing. Say, see what we tell you? We have to go and ban this. We have to go and do this. We need more stronger, stringent things there. We can't allow them to have the control for themselves. Let me tell you one other thing. When they give that, let me just tell you, back in 2002, when they sacked Claire Holder, hear this out. When they sacked Claire Holder as CEO, right? Myself and another woman called Gloria. Gloria was 70 at the time, right? I was like 35, 40 at the time, right? We were the only two people who were interviewed for Claire Holder's position of CEO to run the carnival. She's 70 odd.
Did you
right?
go for the position?
Yes, it's me and her, right? So what happened was there's supposed to be two trustees that was supposed to come and interview you, right? So I happen to know one of the trustees. He's my good friend. So I said to him, listen, mate, you better make sure that you're one of them that's interviewing me, because what it is at the moment, these people have got it on lockdown. They really have got the thing going on. And they suss out that this man was my friend. So what they did, they got 3 trustees to outvote him. So 2 voted for Gloria and he voted for me. Do you understand? Claire was a person that they didn't just get no funding. Claire,
where was she African Caribbean?
Yeah, she's Caribbean. Yes, she's Caribbean.
She was
right?
70.
No, Gloria. They're all Caribbean. But Claire was a person with a vision, right? Claire was a person who had a clear vision. She ran it for a number of years, right? And the carnival grew underneath her stewardship. Gloria came in and she just teased the money. All the sponsorship money, teeth the money. And let me tell you this much: the £2 million that the Arts Council and the carnival people and the authorities got together to pay the trustees.
When you say teeth the money, can we clear that so that it's not, you know?
Well, you can call it what you like. I'll tell you why I call this teething, because they still haven't accounted for it. 20 years later, it still not has been accounted for.
Money went missing while she was.
Yes, they never accounted for that, right? But yet these same people, right? I mean, I'll name them, but they're heading the mass band, they're heading the static sound system, they're heading the calypso and the steel pan. They're still there. The very same people that crooked, right? That run it into the ground, that sell us out. They are the very same people who are still in charge of the carnival. I don't care. You put it out there. They can take me to court, but you know what? I can stand on the ground because I'm on solid ground. You know what I'm saying? I told you, when I organized that Million People March a couple of years ago, right? You was there, right?
Yeah.
We went to the carnival organizers and said to them, Rare, and we want you to support this Million People March because we were fighting against the far right, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to leave from Westbourne Grove and march to Hyde
the
Park.
carnival route. There was nothing wrong with doing the carnival route.
Right. You hear what I'm saying? So hear what happened. When we went, we had a Zoom call, and when I see the same people from all those years still holding us, still got their knees on our neck, the black community neck, I was shocked. And then when I see a white man in the background, I'll give you his name. I'll get his name coming up. I'll give you his name. Right, I'll get the name out and give it to you because I've got it. I had to write it down here. He's in charge, and he's a former police. Right? How could we sell out like this? Do you understand? So I'm just saying to you, there has been no account of the 2002 carnival. So we had what do you call it? Like a contingency fund of something like £350,000 that was built up year after year after year. Everything gone. Everything went missing. Everything. Right? Gloria then got sacked from this. Right?
Sacked, yeah.
Sacked. Right? These people were colluders. Right? And I'm telling you, colluded with Lee Jasper. This is why when anytime Lee talk about Carnival, I just tell him, it's mine. I know the truth. Right? It's his fault because he was in a position to bring about real change. But he talked about, let's take the carnival to Hyde Park and go around the park.
Oh, was that him? Was that his?
It was him. Try
Okay.
to install that kind of foolishness when it's a street thing, right? When it's a spontaneous thing, when it's supposed to be a black thing where people make money from the black community,
Yeah.
right? Now we don't have that. You try to bring a little basket out there with anything, the police or Kensington Chelsea will come and nick you and
Yeah,
take the
that's
things
what they
away
did
from
to
you.
this one guy that I saw, that he even had an undercover police on him, selling a bit of brandy and some champagne. I mean, come on now, off a little trolley. You know, there was no big deal about it. No big deal. Do you know what I mean? Just turn a blind eye to that. He was doing what we used to do back in the
Back in
day.
the day, come on. But no, everything,
They
everybody.
surrounded him. They made a big thing about it.
I just said to you, but look, I'm just saying to you, the people say start again. No, we got to take over what's rightfully ours and bring it back to a we team. Do you
So do
understand?
you think we can do that though?
Yes, you
I mean,
can.
the carnival organized. What is? I mean, I remember when we did the or when you did the Million People March. Huey Rose was part of the team of what?
No, he was doing security, right?
Okay,
So
okay.
he was something to do with security, getting security together, right?
Hmm.
That's what his role was in Carnival. But what happened was he was going back telling them exactly what we're going to do, what we're doing for the
Yeah,
Million People March.
yeah.
So when I get the lorry together, when I got the lorry and the sound system to leave from the Westbourne Grove, the police got in touch with the people who was giving out the lorry and said, "You bring that lorry on there, we're going to confiscate it."
Really? Tell
That's
them,
what they did.
just let people know what the Million People March was, because I was quite taken aback that there wasn't a black presence, a big black presence there. But tell them what the Million People March was and who was involved.
Right. What the Million People March was, it was a reaction to the battle in Trafalgar. The Battle of Trafalgar is when Tommy Robinson brought down 20,000 white men to say they're going to defend the Winston Churchill and other statues, right, around Trafalgar Square. And them times there, Black Lives Matter were out there protesting after the George Floyd murder, were out there on Trafalgar Square week after week after week. On this particular day for the Battle of Trafalgar, all of a sudden, these 20,000 white men, like football supporters, hooligans, come down and descended on Trafalgar when the Black Lives Matter were having their little demonstration. And there was like maybe 400 black people, talking about men, women, and children, and about 20,000 white men them. And what they did, we got narrowed in to round Trafalgar Square, to a small space, and they started throwing bottles and things at us. What we did, we got like if you ever watch some Indian films, what they do, they put the men and women, they put the women and the vulnerable people inside the middle, and the man them stood out, form a circle to take the lash and then to fight back. Then they put the call out for the with a man them on social media, and about 2 hours later, you find about maybe 1,000 black men come down. I never forget this, the scene. They were coming down from like Leicester Square station, coming down towards Trafalgar Square, and then making this noise going, hoo, hoo, hoo. Imagine 1,000 men making that noise. The police had a cordon to stop the men entering Trafalgar Square. But when the police see the man them, what? The police just opened up and said, "No, man, we gotta stop this." And when they came into the Trafalgar Square, they start bust up the white man them, busting them up. You know what I mean? I mean, just took control from there. So what we decided to do was to have a Million People March to start highlight the injustice. That's when I met up with Sasha Johnson, right? Yeah. Sasha, I've never seen a queen like her, a warrior like her. Young girl, I'm an elder. Don't get me wrong, I'm an elder, but the spirit in this young girl was amazing. And then I remember you guys were doing a documentary around me, right? And we brought it to you, Janie, and we said, "Boy, this is what we got." And you said to me, "Ken, forget about you. Who is this woman?
Sorry, Ken.
That's all right.
I was a
Don't
bit
listen.
embarrassed, actually. Yeah, I was a
No,
bit
don't be embarrassed. It's good. It's a good thing because I'm always
It's
having the
still gonna
spotlight.
happen.
You know,
It's still gonna it's gonna happen. It's
I'm
coming.
always in the spotlight. So,
Yeah.
it was a blessing because you don't see me
Yeah.
say get vexed. Or you said to me,
Mm.
"How can you find this woman?" And you know what? The
Yeah,
next
you found her.
week, I went down there, and as the universe will have it, we connected. And
Yeah.
we had such a strong bonding ever since. Do you
Yeah.
understand? A strong bonding. Now to see where she is today, after being the very same people, because one of the people, the million people march, me and Sasha was going to go into this hotspot area where the man them are shoot each other, stab it,
Yes.
and we
Definitely
was
you
going to
were.
talk to
Yeah.
them. And
Yeah.
because like the same way they came together for the Battle of Trafalgar, we said we can do it again.
Yeah.
And the million people march was supposed to represent that, reproduce that. Do you understand? And look what happened. The very same people were there to come and support and to help prosper. It's the very same people who went to shoot her, right? Very same people.
Yeah. That's
You hear what I'm saying? Shot her in
Yeah.
the head and put her in that situation. She was going to be our Malcolm X. She was going to be something very special.
Definitely.
Right? And what the white, when the far right here that she got, they say, look at that. We don't have to do nothing. Them idiot black people, they will kill each other. All we got to do is feed them some idiot chump change. And I'm sorry to
And the
say,
sad thing about with Sasha, it wasn't just although she loved her people and she was all about the black and everything, but her fight was for the working class.
yes, because she grew up in Oxford, white people. Don't forget, we went down and see her on a demonstration. It wasn't black, it was white people down Oxford. But they have to follow her like if they were sheep. Do you understand? But they love her. Do you understand? That was her thing. She was able to bring, as you said, the working class. We even inadvertently went and talked to Tommy Robinson to try to say, listen, this ain't a black and white thing. This is about a working class thing.
Yeah,
So if we come together, can you imagine what we'll mash up the establishment. But Tommy Robinson played the fool. Yeah, he did something there to kind of, to what you call it, to drive them to heighten her attention, to send her mad by bringing that foolish black man. I can't remember his name. That foolish black man, and who talking all stupidness about black people. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do time and time again. They use our very own to do their dirty work. We have to stop that. We have to stop that. So sorry for taking this up. I have to just share that with you.
Yeah, but it's just the carnival. It's just so. I mean, the thing is, how do we reel it back in? How do we? You feel that we can bring it back to where it was, but how do we do that?
Listen,
we really do that?
Personally, to get it better organized, those static sound system like Saxon and some other
were they there?
Yes, well, they're there. They're always there, right? But let me say this much to you: these top sound systems that have attract so much people, they need to have a space outside of the carnival circle, right?
Oh,
so,
right.
Like, whether it's in Hyde Park or whether it's in Scrubs Lane or whatever, the Scrubs. But they're a big park area that they can, so you can have people. Go there. So it's just because one of the dangerous thing about Carnival this year, because I went there with my two nieces who were 16-year-old girls, right? And when they come down, walking down some part of Ladbroke Grove, it was a pinch area, right? Where people trying to come up, people trying to go down, and if anybody had fell down there, it would have been a massacre. People would have fallen on top and people would have suffocated. It's a dangerous situation. We need it to be better marshal, and we have got to marshal. The police.
Did you marshal it? Did you do any security there?
I didn't know I wouldn't do security, but all I did was step in, to stop some man beating up on the police, right? Saying we're not of that life. Do you understand? So I was there I was there as a parent over these two young girls for their first carnival experience. So I couldn't even teeth a little wine from anybody. So you know what? I had to be in my best behavior to make sure the man there didn't keep a wine off of them either, right? So I'm just saying to you, but the fact of the matter is, it's got to be better organized. We've got to safeguard the people that come down there. We got to reach out to them because you could do so much as a
Why
carnival
aren't you
organizer.
involved? Why aren't you involved in the if you say the carnival committee
Yeah,
is a problem, why aren't you involved in that?
because back in 2004, they threw me and my partner out. They call us the Bonnie and Clyde of the
Can you go
carnival.
back now?
Well, they listen. You call my name in carnival. You might think I'm Al Capone the way they turn on me, right? Because they need to have people with spirit and people that will stand up to authority and say, no, this is our thing, not your thing. Yes, us, never them. Do you hear what that kind of mentality? Don't get me wrong. We
Debbie
need to all.
Gardner's part of it. This girl called Debbie Gardner. Do you know her?
Yes, she was part of it back in the day. Part of
How
the
how is
problem.
she how is she okay? Because we came up together in the same steel band.
No, she's part of the problem. And so you know Steel Pan, you know who the man who run the Steel Pan because he was a chair for the
Peppy.
longest time. Yes, all part of the problem, big problem, right? All part of the sellout, and they're still there.
How are they? I mean, it needs
Because
to change. Then it needs.
listen, how they did so because they got to get the 5 different disciplines together to agree on anything, right? They had to you get the 5 different, let's just say the static band, you've got the static sound system, you've got I said the masquerade band, you've got the calypso, right? So I said you've got there's 5 disciplines you've got there, right? If I recall correctly, and you need them all to come together. You understand? But personally, I believe the carnival should have its number one focus. It's the masquerade bands and the steel pan, because that's the culture. That's the real beauty.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
But maybe these meetings that they have shouldn't be behind closed doors. It should be like the community should be involved. They shouldn't have these closed meetings.
Listen, how you dethrone those very same people that's been there for all those years.
Well, usually things need to be changed anyway. You
has
can't
to
have
be.
the
It
same
has
people
to
in the
be.
same job.
You're not gonna.
You know?
They're the hardest thing because they're the one that's got the carnival by its throat. They still got their knees on the black community's throat. Do you understand? The people you mentioned there, they're the 2 of the key drivers to where we are today, right? Lee Jasper is in there now.
Is
right?
he back in there?
Yes, he's in there, right? He's in there behind the scenes, right? It's his nephew who's now fronting it as a chair, but he's not the chair. The white man is the chair. And I will give you his name before that. I'll put it in the chat, and you got to go out there and look at that because it is rubbish for us to have somebody like that who's saying that because they're saying, that's why the police are much more, because they can talk to the police and talk to Kensington and Chelsea. No, they're supposed to be accommodating our team. Because you don't see, as I said, Eid or Glastonbury get them to run their shit. So why are they running ours? They've got the same mentality like slavery. We can't do it for ourselves. We need to have the white man do it for us. We need to get the white pound from them. We shouldn't have to. If we charge, can you imagine if we just charge £1 for everyone that attended that carnival? That's over £1 million just there. Right? And if we did that and say, what we're going to do now, we're going to pattern it up where we're going to spend time in investing and going back to those deprived areas and talking to the them, right, outside the carnival to get them on board so that we all can police our own carnival, right? Make it uncomfortable for those other would-be vampires who want to go and stab and draw blood from our people to come into that space. That's what we have to do. We have to police it ourselves. We can't leave it down to the goddamn police because you know what? Outside of this, they're busting us up anyway, right? And then this day they said, we're trying to safeguard you. Look at you. Oh, look at that. No, man, we can't be having that. You know, I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there. So anybody want to contribute, please don't let me this.
Yeah, there's some, I don't know who they are. There are some other people here. If they want to come up, please hit the link and come up, you know, and give your opinion of what you think's going on and how the solutions, you know, what solutions there are. But if you say that the same people have been on this in the carnival committee for all those years, I mean, that definitely needs to be changed.
Yes.
Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? That definitely needs to be changed. Do these do the carnival committee, do they get paid? Is this a paid role?
No, because they've got their band. They've got how they get paid is that they get grants, right? They get sponsorship,
Yeah, they do get grants now.
right? And
Yeah.
yes, they do, and they get sponsorship, right? For Rough Diamond, we used to get grants, but you know what? Because we have to run a mass camp, right? I tell you what the beauty about what the beauty about Carnival, what we found after being here for 20 years, the very same people who grew together are still together today. They said, boy, it brought different man them together from different ends. So if any kind of dispute going on, we can step in as a community elder and squash the argument so it doesn't turn to the violence. You understand? That the people become friends. They grew as children. Now they've got their own children. And they're saying we need Rough Diamond out here. We need that carnival village out here. Right? Not for profit, but for our people. Right? When I went there on Monday, I bought a t-shirt. I paid £52 for the t-shirt.
Where? Carnival?
Yeah, £52. I had to pay for my t-shirt. And it's
What,
supposed to
what was that t-shirt then?
it's just an ordinary t-shirt, a £3-4 t-shirt, because I used to get their own t-shirt, but we used to sell for £10, right?
I bought a t-shirt from the Nation for 15.
No, yeah, but what it was, it allowed you to jump behind the lorry, right? And allow you to have drinks. Okay. Now
is that the way it works?
Yeah, I had my 2 nieces with me,
Yeah.
right? But they just wanted to come on a day for the experience. So when they're there with me and I'm just there with them, the people tell me they have to go. How you gonna let 2 young girls, 16 years old, 15 and 16, you gonna let them go to a carnival by themselves? What kind of idiot thing is that? They said, no, well, you have to pay for them. I ain't paying no £50 for them. They're mad. You get their experience. You just allow them, right? I said, I don't care. I stand my ground.
So what happens? What did you?
Well, they allow them. Because what can they do? Is either you give me my money back and let me go, or my people, or the young girls stay with me.
So is that the way it works then? You buy a t-shirt and you pay like triple the price for the t-shirt, and then you can sort of like dance behind the band.
Yeah, I understand. But
drinks.
I understand because where the money
alcoholic
is made,
drinks, right?
Yeah, alcoholic or soft drink, but cocktails and stuff. But listen, but the biggest money is spent on costume. A costume can cost you anything from say £300 to £1,000.
So if you want to dance in a mass band, you pay for, well, I know you pay to play mass.
That's right.
And you make your costume yourself though, really, don't you?
No, you don't. You don't make your costume yourself. We make the costume because that's where we spend 3 to 6 months making a costume in a community center, right? But the good thing about that is like 2 months before Carnival or 3 months before Carnival, we open up. That mass camp is open up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So the youth them who sit down outside, they've got nothing to do. We bring them in. They come inside. Right, and they get to be part of the family. Do you understand? So you get to understand.
See, with the mass, I thought because we'd had 2 years off, we were going to come back with a bang, because I always thought that, it should be brought back to its cultural, it's the culture. So we could have had Black Panthers. We could have had, anything to do with, cultural revolutionaries.
No, maybe that's a section. But what we need to have really is anyone representing the Black diaspora. That means because we went to Nigeria with Claire and we did some carnival over there, and they had
what you got
from
the committee's money.
No, the committee, Claire, they threw Claire out, and Claire did something else. She started her own Carnival Roadshow. She never got a penny from anybody, right? She went over there and she raised her own money.
So you went to Nigeria on your own?
Yeah, we got invited by the president.
Okay.
but right, this is about 8-10 years ago. We got invited by the president, right, to organize a carnival, where
Oh,
where the people brought the 35 provinces in Nigeria, and each of them brought a representation from their provinces. Some come on horseback, some come with their dance, some come with the warrior teams. It was amazing,
you did a
right?
carnival out there?
Yes, yes. And also part of that we went Hong Kong. I went Zimbabwe. I did it for President Mugabe. I danced for Mugabe through Carnival, right? Um, for his 90th birthday, right? We went 7 times. We kept winning Seychelles, and every time they kept inviting us back. And at the end of the day, we became like rock stars. They put us in accommodation, like a £1,000 a night accommodation. Do you understand? Incredible. I'm saying to you, I went Hong Kong, as I said, we went Ireland, right? We also went on stage at a party in the park twice and danced on the Mick Jagger platform in party in Hyde Park. Wow, in front of 70,000 people. Because so we was part of the soca boys, and we danced with the samba girls.
Are you from
And when it was,
Trinidad?
huh?
Are you from Trinidad?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And
right, okay.
and so when we finished, and when we were supposed to come off to let Mick Jagger come on and do his thing, I refused to come off. Then they get security to get me off, because I thought there's 75,000 people there for me. You know what I'm
Oh, God.
saying?
That's funny. That's funny.
No, beautiful, but it's beautiful because soca is in my bones. Do you understand?
Yeah, yeah,
I go into
definitely.
I go into the schools and I teach kids aged 2 to 10.
When were
Soca
you
size.
when were you involved in, how long have you been involved in the Notting Hill Carnival in terms of doing the maths and stuff like that?
From 1996.
All right, that's quite okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from 96 I was on there. Right? Incredible journey.
What were you doing before that? Or
I
to
was
do
just
with carnival?
no, I was just robbing people out there.
Oh, stop. So we don't, no, that's not what we
Listen,
told.
it's part of the history, because we used to
Yeah, there
use
was a
that.
lot of that back in the. Do you remember Paddington Youth?
Listen, yes, but we used to do that. We
You
used to
still-
use a carnival to go
I'm
down them.
trying to say something here. Do you remember Paddington Youth Steel Band?
Yes, I remember that.
What
That
was
was what's his name? And the next one that was um, his game Ansel Wong, right? Is a next man that was part and parcel of bringing down the carnival, and they're still in there. These people here, these lepers, don't release themselves from there. Do you understand?
these are big names, you know.
Of course they are. And everybody think they're savior of the carnival. They're not. They're the devil. I tell you, right? And if any of them are wear the cross, I would tell them you got to turn that upside down to reflect just who you are. You understand? I tell you, right? I'm speaking my truth, right? As a person who was there firsthand. I'm not afraid to tell you, back in the days when we used to get beaten up by the police, we used to wait for carnival, and then we use that time to go and rob the man them. Only white man, any white tourist coming through was fair game.
Stop saying that. Stop saying that.
Listen, that's part of the history. But now I'm there about a peacemaker. I don't like to see the violence, but look where I came from, because I know where the violence was from, right? I know how the violence can escalate. But now I'm over there. I would step in and stop the violence. But you
Yeah.
can only do that because I've got the experience and the expertise to know how things go. People can't talk. You talk your things. What am I supposed to do? Lie? Right? I'm not the easygoing character. Right? I've done jail time. So what's the big deal? Yeah? It doesn't mean that because of what? I'm a white society and I can't talk them things. I talk my truth. Right? I'm not the easiest going, but I still got the spirit. But you just don't want to get in the wrong side of me. That's all it is. You understand? Yeah? Because now I said to the police, I should throw bottles at you. But I said nowadays I'm throwing
Yeah, there was
confetti.
lots of bottles. I mean, now, are you involved in anything? I mean, is there anything you're going to do to help with getting Carnival back on track? I mean, because it really was Glastonbury in the city. It was.
it used to be such
Sunday. I enjoyed myself more on Monday. I did, and I didn't follow a band. And I know that everybody I know who follows bands. It's a nice experience. Maybe because I played all those years. I just don't do it, but I did enjoy myself on the Monday. But Sunday was just like, wow, I just want to go back home. This is shit. Because it was just like I was in Glastonbury. I mean, there was girls, I mean, there's some clips there, girls just pissing, I mean, I'm minding my own business filming. They didn't even say, excuse me, there's loads of people, we're in the open, and they just crouched and started pissing next to each other.
Yeah, but why should they have to do that? Where's the toilets? We couldn't find the toilet.
And there was a sign, it was just 100 yards, about 200 yards away.
Yeah, but I just don't think there was enough toilets there this time around.
Yeah, right? But why in the open? Why just crouch down in the open, just in front of everybody, and just start pissing?
So what? You have my number. Why didn't you give it to me? Give me a call.
What would you have done? What would you have done?
I'd feel nice about it.
What? Oh, you freak! You freak! Yeah.
It's Carnival. You want to go over to Trinidad and see how they do mass over there. But in Trinidad, you even have the opposition and the ruling party play mass, right? You have the police that if you're in a costume, they would do what
needs to change.
They
would
do.
Needs to change. You can't.
What they do? If the police in Trinidad, if you're in a costume, they would do whatever it takes to get you to where you need to get to. Do you understand? What a beautiful sight it is to see how, the police embrace. Over here, the police are fearful, and rightfully so, because they know, like back in the days, as I said, when we finish robbing people, we used to then turn on the police, right? And want to go and fight the police, right? Because that was our time to get even with them, right? So they've got to remember that what they do outside Carnival could come back during Carnival to haunt them. Do you understand? Because what I keep saying to them, like here in Haringey, we say that we call it the Tottenham Gaza, right? Because we got the police force that abused the black community, right? In a rich part of Haringey, Muswell Hill, the Hornsey, it's a police service. If you come from the rich part of Hornsey and you're a youngster, you can smoke your weed freely in the park openly, right? If you come from the poor part of Tottenham, they want to arrest you for doing that, right? And give you a criminal record for doing that. That can't be right, right? Even if you look at the Carnival, they arrested so much people for having weed. How could that be possible? Do you understand? When you go to Glastonbury, if you got Class A drugs in Glastonbury, they tell you come and get it tested to make sure it's safe for you. Do you understand? Yes. And then you got, just Google it, and then the White Festival. If you got Class A drugs, they're telling you that you've got to get it tested so you know what you're taking, right? With no arrests.
So they've got something there that tests drugs.
Yes, in Class A.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Right? But when it comes to black thing now, for a bit of weed,
so take your drugs, but we just want to make sure that they're all right, so that you right.
Look it up.
I believe you.
Right? Tell me the lie. They do this at a lot of these white festivals. Right? They've got drug testing. Have your drugs, kits.
But just let's make sure that they're okay.
That's right, and they're right, because they don't want people dying at the event.
Well, you saying that with this new balloons thing, I mean, I know it's not new because I saw the capsules. I mean, that to me is really new. I mean, they've got their canisters and they're just sucking on balloons all day long, and they're just loving it and sucking. I mean, I will say, when I was sort of like walking home. I had, you know, some of my friends with me, and a girl, she had 2 balloons and she was sucking on them. I walked past and I just grabbed the balloon and chucked it and walked on.
Listen, that is scrambling their brain cells, right?
Oh,
And I'm
I
seeing.
want to know the depth. There's been since 2000. I think there's been 56 deaths since 2000. I think it was 8 till now. It's what I read. It's not. It's illegal to take it, but it's not a crime.
That's right. It's you can have it, but you can't sell it, right?
Right.
So
Well,
you can
these people were just doing it all day long. All this. I mean, it was really disturbing.
listen. And I'm telling you, and to see so much black people caught up in that nonsense,
Yeah, with
right?
the balloons. Yeah.
Because back in the day they used to put glue in there, right? Evil stick glue, right, and get high off of that
Glue
kind of,
sniffing. Glue
yeah,
sniffing. Yeah.
right. This is the
My neighbour used to do it. Yeah.
this is
Growing
what
up.
they're doing now, and these things here are not good. And I'm sorry to say, when I was there and I saw some of my family members doing that, I was kind of shocked and
What, the
disappointed.
balloons?
Yes,
Did you see
yes,
that then? You saw them?
yes.
Yeah.
I see him do that, and I have to put him on that.
Terrible.
I have to see him on there. No, you know what I mean? And he, I know that he's got mental illness, mental frailty condition, right? He's not very strong. He's not even supposed to be smoking weed, right? Because his brain can't take it. His older brother, he can smoke weed all day long, right? And it doesn't affect him. But him, with his mental frailty, can't smoke it. Should be smoking and should be taking that stuff. Do you understand? And he's got 4 children. Come on, yeah. It's a mad thing. Yeah, and I said, as I said at the time, I didn't say nothing. But I have to come back and have that deeper conversation with him. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit. I mean, before I used to see the little silver capsules, but now they've got everybody. You know, they've got the big canisters of
big canisters, and they're selling it.
They're just sort of like dancing and just yeah, you know what I mean. And I'm just like looking at them. That's why I grabbed that girl's. I just grabbed it. She was like, I just grabbed it. And somebody said, "Oh, what does she do?" I said, "Well, what could she do? What could she do?" Who's that? Susie Moore. Yeah. So, yeah. She says some of them are getting strokes from the balloons. Some of them are getting strokes from the balloons.
It won't surprise me.
And they're doing it right in front of the police face.
Yes, but some people got. I saw. I can't remember, but some people got arrested for psychoactive canisters, for having those psychoactive canisters, right? I don't know how they tell which one to arrest and which one not to.
Oh,
you know
did
what I mean?
they?
Because,
oh, right. Okay. I mean, the thing, they just look at it as a big old street. Apart from, well, a lot of the people and different generations, even black people, they look at it as a big old street party. It is being looked at a European street festival. It really is. The biggest European street festival. It really is, where you can openly have a spliff in front of the police and no one's going to arrest you. You can openly have people just rolling their stuff. They're enjoying themselves. I mean, weed has always happened at the carnival. Weed has always been there. I mean, it's never not been there, has it? Really?
No, but the thing is, skunk is totally different. I call skunk where weed. Back in the day when I was a ganja baby, so we used to smoke high grade, the same thing that Bob Marley smoked. This weed here, I call it vampire weed, because this here has got all kind of heavy chemicals and is man-made. It's man-made, right? And it's causing destruction and causing them to, a lot of mental illness and a lot of violence.
Yeah, because it's not organic. It's got all this stuff that they make it grow fatter, and
make it. They put sand. They put crack cocaine in that kind of stupidness. They lace it
in it. Yeah, I mean,
they lace it with all kind of foolishness.
It probably grows in 3 weeks. You've got a big old budded plant or something. It's Susie Wong. Many were arrested this year that was smoking. You know, that was smoking. Many were arrested for the smoking. I didn't. All I saw is that they were doing it in front of the police's face.
No, there was. I didn't know how the police choose which one to
Yeah.
arrest, because I'm so like at the 200, I saw maybe 40 or 50 of them was arrested for drug offences.
Oh,
right?
really?
Yeah. Over the 2 days, maybe 90 to 100 was arrested. They've got the figures out there. You look at the Guardian; they give you a breakdown. Some are done for sexual offences, right? You know, where they're grabbing up the woman or one thing the other. Seven people got stabbed. 7 people got stabbed. One got
One
killed.
died. One died. Yeah. Was it a youth? Was it just like a? Was it a black youth? Yeah.
Yeah, but if you go on YouTube and look and Google the youth who died, Google his name or see his YouTube video. What is a young man talking about shanking and Rambo and shooting people?
Oh, the one that got killed was talking like that.
Yes, it's out there. It's out there. I sent you the video. I sent it to you.
Oh, maybe I didn't. Okay. Oh, was that the guy in the link up to?
Yes, that's him.
Killed.
Yeah, he's the one that got killed. Yes, I sent it to you. But you hear the lyrics about his own business.
I didn't really get what, but oh my God.
Have a listen to it and then listen to the lyrics. Right? And I'll tell you something. I'll tell you this, man who put those lyrics out, a man who lived that lifestyle. Right? And let me tell you this much here. You never know when you're gonna run into your God. You never know when you're gonna run into your ops.
He seemed to have talent because he was on that.
Listen, you never know when you can run into your ops or where you can run into your ops. Do you hear what I'm saying?
In Ladbroke Grove. Where was he from? Was he from the area or
no, Bristol?
He was from Bristol.
Yes.
And he gets stabbed in Ladbroke Grove.
Yes. He came down with his sister, younger sister, and some friends. But I'm telling you, when you can't be out there chucking it as if you're the bad man, right? And you're thinking that because you've got rep, that the rep's going to save you. Can't be doing it. Because a real bad man don't show his hand, right? Until it's time for you to take your last breath. Do you understand? We don't know when these things happen, but there's some sort of history behind some of the things that's going on. Have a look at that video that I sent to you. Listen to the lyrics. Incredible.
I will in detail. Yeah.
Incredible lyrics.
That's shocking.
Right, but no one deserves to dead like this. But I'm just telling you, there's got to be some sort of history going on. Yeah, because there's nothing to say, sorry, man. Everything cool. Don't worry, don't watch that. Yeah, to apologize and move on. But when you got ego and maybe got alcohol and other things going on, you think you're invincible. I'm on the door. I do security. So I'm on the door and I see how these people who drink grow devil horn. And the more they drink, it's the bigger the devil horns they grow. Do you hear what I'm saying? And I have to deal with them. But I could deal with them all day long because I don't drink and I don't smoke. Do you understand? And I do a bit of training to keep myself ready for that one moment.
You do have a little brandy or something?
Not now.
Something?
No.
No brandy, not a spliff or anything. No.
No. What? No spliff. All I have is my Morbi and my sorrow.
What is that? It? You clean living and everything?
Yeah, well, I don't know clean living. I'm veg free. I just eat. I'm all meat. You know what I'm saying?
So you don't drink not even a cognac?
No.
Wine.
No, because I've learned my lesson. Because back in the day when I used to drink, I used to be a cheap drunkard. And women took advantage of my condition.
What about so you don't even have a little joint now and then?
No, I don't smoke at all. No way. I stopped smoking 3 years ago. Right?
Wow.
You know why I stopped smoking? Because I couldn't find no good weed. I fed up spending my money. I'm getting some nonsense thing. Do you hear what I'm saying? I'm fed up
Oh,
with that.
Susie Wong says the police were. I was on the line as well. And yeah, they were standing sort of like at the back, and they were harassing a young man that was selling his drink. And I just thought they could have turned a blind eye to that. Certain things they can turn a blind eye to. You've got guys sucking. You're surrounded by guys, people sucking balloons, but yet a man's just making a little bit of money by selling his mixed drinks, and you're harassing him. Undercover came for him. Undercover was like, oh, he had his walkie-talkie on and everything. Undercover came for him. Just a little vendor. Because he hasn't got a license. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, as I said to you, that happened time and time again. But there's no rhyme or reason when they go and do certain things. They just do the thing, and to me, we need to get, as I said, control back. As I said, I don't know, because these people here have got reach, far reach, and they've got influence. As I said, Kensington, Chelsea, and Westminster, they've got far reach in those places there, and the police. Right? Because how could they get the police to send me a letter to tell me if I bring the 1 million people march out on that day, on that carnival day, right? On a Carnival Footprint, I will get arrested. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Why do you think that they were so against? I mean, because I think it was a good idea to have something, instead of the carnival on the carnival route. I mean, why do you think that they were so against that? Do you think I just felt that they just felt that there was going to be too many black people there? That's what
No, it wasn't. It was because not only did the carnival organizers, but what the carnival organizers did, they worked with Grenfell, the Grenfell people, right? And the two of them come together to say, no, you're not having that. You can't be using anywhere on a Carnival Footprint. Do you understand? This is what they did. They made a pact.
Do you know what? That makes me feel so sad, because Grenfell, I mean, like Sasha and yourself, I mean, Sasha fought for everybody, and that was her motto as well. She fought for everybody. And one of my criticisms of what was going on with Sasha was that she fought for everybody's causes, but they never fought for hers.
That's right.
They never fought for hers. All those people, she fought for Grenfell.
Yes, that's right.
But you would never see a load of Grenfell people fighting for her.
No, that's right.
She fought for people in custody. She fought for, the Yemenis. She fought for
the Palestinians.
Everybody. You won't see them coming.
She came down. She came down out of way. She came out of a way after the young boy from Tottenham got beaten up by the police. She came out of her way to come down and support us outside Tottenham police station and doing that demonstration from Parkview School down to Tottenham. But we don't see anybody coming out for her, right? I know, and I really find it disgusting that as one of her close kind of like a mentor and people that she trusted.
You were a mentor,
right? That that I'm not being allowed to get in and to spend time with her. I really feel aggrieved by that.
Yeah, that is a bit of a problem, but we'll have to speak about that. Susie Wong says, how do we, and we've talked a little bit about this, how do we gain back control at this stage?
Listen,
can we?
I just find that black people, if we
have to do it together. We have to do it holistically and organically, all at once. We have to work together. We do.
No, I just feel at the end of the day, we need to come together, but we've got to have significant numbers, and saying enough is enough. We want to hold the people who's supposed to be the carnival organizers. We want to know who these are, and we want to hold them to account.
See, that's the thing about why Sasha was so Susie, you will see the story of Sasha, because I was filming her from the word go. I was filming her from the George Floyd protest.
Hi.
It just happened. I didn't know that it was going to be like this, but I was filming her for a very long time. So that documentary will be coming out. That's why we miss her, because you two together were a very strong force. And I know if you would have been on this, both of you. You would have been on this.
Yes,
Been on
because
this.
we supported each other.
Yeah.
Whatever Sasha was going through or having going on, no question asked, I'd be there. And
Mm.
whatever I had on, Sasha would be here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We may not always agree with each other,
No, you didn't.
but we supported one another.
Mm.
Right? Because you're only as strong as your last argument. Okay? And we used to resolve it. Yeah, and noted that the deeper that we may not always have the solution, but our heart was in the right place.
Mm. Yeah, but then the carnival, you know, we need to get it back on track, as we're going to lose it completely. I believe that we will lose it completely, and it will be that festival, because to me, I saw that festival. I saw that European festival. That's what I saw. I saw Glastonbury in the city, and I saw that European festival, and I didn't see it as a cultural event. I didn't see it as a cultural event. And is it a cultural event? To me, it's like a big wake. Really, it should be like a big wake, paying homage to our ancestors.
That's right.
But it
I
wasn't.
think
I saw the European festival, the biggest European festival that they call it.
the biggest street festival of culture
Yeah,
art.
street festival. Yeah, street rave, not even festival.
Yeah.
That's what I see.
Yeah, some people, as I said,
Is it too late? Because people have been saying, "Oh, I've been seeing this. I saw that for years. Oh, that's been happening for years." So that means, is it too late to reel it back in then?
look, and just
Years.
what you're gonna have as an alternative? It isn't. You know, it's our thing. We just need to reclaim it back. That's all it is.
And how are we going to do that? That's where the solutions come in handy. How
Well, they tried. I remember Claire Holder had a couple of things where they tried to bring in alternatives or try to gain back control, but the numbers weren't turning up. A Paris place, I think it was.
Like the million people march, they didn't. You know,
people. That's right. But then again,
how do we get that message? That's part of what we're meant to be doing.
Well,
how do we get that message?
It was understandable because people put disinformation around the million people march, right? People said that if you come out, you get arrested, right? They said other things, you know, they put out some misinformation around that. So it wasn't happening. And then people even put out different places. So we had to leave from two places, from Notting Hill Gate and Westbourne Park. Do you understand?
Yeah, you did.
Because the reason they've done that, because Notting Hill Gate was off the Carnival Footprint. What? Since when Carnival come out of kind of rebellion? Do you understand? Since when are we going to just listen to say, oh, we're all supposed to start off the Carnival Footprint to show that that's a we thing? Do you understand? And the only way you're going to get anything done, if people really want to do that, we have to organize a protest. Again, leaving from the Carnival Footprint, right, and going to Hyde Park like the Million People March, right? But that's the way, and then you bring in and you talk about why you're doing this.
Do you want to come up, Susie? Hit the link and come up. Come and talk to us. Come up. I mean, you know, this is the reason why I did this, because like you said, there was a lot of disappointed people. There was a lot of disappointed people. I mean, because you expect something that has been going on for years and years and years, and you expect something different, you know, something great, let's say, after 2 years of its absence. And then what do you get?
Listen, as I said, to get on the street now, because how do you get to join a band? It's like now the band is just about money making, right? There's no real culture that I see out there, right? We never used to have, no disrespect, the mass band used to play pure soca, and they won't play any slackness around the rugger. No
Yeah, mass band
slackness,
shouldn't really.
right? No slackness, and there was no hype music talking about murdering and things of that nature. There weren't none of this. Now, people play what they goddamn want, right? We lose the essence of it.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not. It's not great. It's not great. It's a disappointment. Yeah. So as I said, I just needed to. As I said, I just wanted to share with you because
I think it's good, Ken, that you came up, because you know, you've been on the inside and you've given us a good, you know, picture of what really is going on. I think
in 2002, each of the mass band was going to get something like, Claire had organised for us to get, because we usually just got something like £1,000 or £2,000 for each. That's what we used to get, right? Claire had organised for us to, because this is when they piped the music down the mall, and we were going to go into Buckingham Palace, into the courtyard, right? And she got sponsorship for us to get £35,000 each.
wow.
You know, 35 each band. Do you understand? You know what they did?
Each band, yeah. What does the band spend that on?
Listen, let me give you an example. Let me give an example.
Maybe a couple of new pans.
No. Let me give you an example. Let me tell you this much here. To go and organize a 40-foot trailer and that lorry and a sound system, that alone will set you back anyway from £15,000 to £20,000, right? You got to get a 40 kVA, 2-ton. You're talking about a generator, right? You got to get a state-of-the-art sound system. You need to get scaffolding, right?
Yeah.
Right. You need to get 2 drivers because they're on the tachograph. Do you understand? You need to get security, right? You need to have what they call transportation to and from.
But Kenton and Chelsea must be a bit strapped for cash with all the amount of money they have to pay out to Grenfell victims.
This didn't come from this. This came from the Arts Council, right?
Okay.
The money came from the Arts Council, who's got billions to fling out on these things. Do you understand? Right? But they never gave us enough. We had to top it up by getting funding from other places as well. Right? Listen, there's not many people, carnival organizers back in my days, who grew rich. I'm telling you, many of the mass.
I would have thought you could grow rich being with that. I would have thought you could be rich, you know, being a. But they must have some money. There must be something big in it.
Listen, I used to make a loss every year. Listen, every year we made a loss. Do you understand? And the amount of free time that we have to put to it, that never even got calculated. Right? You never got. As I said, I'm better off just doing security now. You understand?
It is sad it is sad when, like, for me, growing up in the area and seeing. I mean, my story is more like, you know, growing up in the area, right in the centre of the area, and Westbourne Park, and sort of like when the 2 steel bands I knew were Mangrove and Metronomes, and I used to follow. I remember following Mangrove just the whole day, just, you know, right at the front, holding onto the float, being fascinated by the steel pan, not knowing that in a few years I would be playing myself. And I thought I didn't know how or where or what, but he came to our school, you know, and anybody wanted to play the steel pan? Yeah. You know what I mean? And I was in there, mate. And I was literally obsessed with the thing. Do you know what I mean? Loved it. Loved the instrument. Played it. Used to take you know, I was gigging from a very young age, you know, playing, earning money. I had money in school. And then one day he said he taught Zach Herbert. This was, may he rest in peace. You know, I was there when he was on his deathbed, and we buried him a couple of months ago. And he used to do like a boys' school in South London, and he used to teach there, and he used to teach at my school, Paddington, which was a mixed school. So he one day got us all together and said, we're gonna do carnival. It was like, what? This was all grown men. It was a male dominated thing back then, and there were no kids on the road, you know. And he got us these two schools together. We practiced during the 6-week holidays, and at the last day he said, come what may. Do you know what I mean? And we won the Panorama that year, and we won the Panorama the next year as well, you know, as kids. Do you know what I mean? So sort of like being that, and then, you know, I played around with a few of the other bands, and then sort of like just enjoyed Carnival after that. And Carnival was very authentic and cultural and stuff. And then, you know, the changes came.
But I'll tell you this one.
Changes came, and it was so. It's just so growing up in that, and then seeing the huge change. You know, the big lorries came in, the catering trucks and stuff like that, and you know, Auntie wasn't frying her dumplings on the street. You know, it was just a big change. But I just wanted to enjoy myself anyway. So even though I noticed a change, I had one eye on it, but the other eye was on enjoying myself.
But you got to understand, when I talk about my time, when I didn't care for the carnival, because we talk about 75 when I was 15 and 76, those years there, we used to get beaten up by the police. And what we used to do,
we were coming out. So all that, people talk about the violence and all that, but a lot of that came out of. Remember, we're coming out of the sus laws.
That's right. That's
we're coming out of the people that were involved in the carnival. They came out of no dogs, no blacks, no Irish.
That's right.
All States Road that was a hub of revolution.
That was a front line. That was the front line.
That was a hub of revolution. So look at it now. That shouldn't be the way. What I saw there, it shouldn't have been like that.
But look what happened to me. My transformation came. I was a housing officer back in the 90s, and I used to go to Trinidad for the Trinidad Carnival, and I used to bring back some music from Trinidad, some soca, and I used to give it to one of my tenants, and they had about 7 kids, and they said to me, "How would you dance to this music?" So I said, "Look, you come. Let's go in a car park at the housing association after it closed, after the office closed, and I will show you. I will teach you. I will show you what I do." And it started from only about 5 to 10 people, and within 4 to 5 months, it was something like 80 to 100 youngsters.
Wow!
And I saw them get so good. I saw them and said, "Wow, look at that! This is 95, 96," and I see them. Wow, they were wowing, right? So we said, "Oh, we've got," and they said, "Let's take it to the carnival." So I joined a mass band, and you won't believe it. Back in the days, a mass band was just about people drinking their rum, getting drunk, you know what I mean, and getting leery.
And flinging on too.
And they never catered for the children. So they used to show us pictures. They used to show us pictures of the chart of what their of the costume, but with the adult, how the picture looked is how the costume was made. But for the children, the picture did not represent the actual costume. So can you imagine how disappointed the children was? And then when you went on to the carnival now, all the music was played for the olders, not for the youngers. So after 2 years of that, I said, no, I've got to do my own band. I have to start my own band. And that's when Rough Diamond started, right? Rough Diamond started, and it became quite clear. It was children-centered. We did it for the children, not for the adults. You understand? We did it for the love.
Yeah, but Susie Wong says we have lost the community leaders. If we had better community leaders, you know, maybe Carnival would be different.
if we had if we had a community a board of community elders with influence from different sphere of life, then we might be saying something.
Yeah, but why have we not got that change? Why surely it's scandalous that you'd have the same community leaders, the same committee for all these years. Isn't that scandalous though?
Absolutely incredible.
What changed that you even any organization, a church don't have the same priest, you know, a bank don't have the same manager for all these, you know, it just doesn't work like that.
But you got to understand that when people are voted in from that little arena, vote in the same people time after time, you know what they vote them in? They don't know any better, right? And to me, it shows you just how weak that whole structure is when you can't even see that the people are doing are not working in the best interest of the community.
Have the meetings, because I feel one of the solutions, me personally, I feel one of the solutions are the committee meetings should not be private. They should be public with an audience, because
that's right.
It's about us.
Yes.
So why are you talking about us behind our backs? Let us make decisions as well. Let us be a part of that. It shouldn't be. They should never be private.
But no, because there's something like
things would change quickly if it wasn't private.
No, I feel that they need to have a certain number of public meetings, and you have certain number of private meetings.
Right. Okay. Right? Yeah, I can go with that.
You need to have that, people, because people who just want to be out there and play and be a reveler are not the same. The people who want to invest the time and the money to build an operation. Do you understand? The steel pan. You just can't get in there overnight. Yeah, you have to practice. You have to invest money in buying the pans. You have to invest money in getting a space, in hiring a space for you to practice. Yeah, do you understand? These all cost money, right? And then you have to about safeguarding the very people who's coming to and from, right? The carnival, right? So you got so there's a lot. It's a big operation that people have to invest in. So if you're investing, I feel that we just need to have the core value of where outside influence need to also be impacted on the inside, the people on the inside who feel at the end of the day it's either their way or the highway.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Do you want to come up? Do you want to come up, Susie? Come up if you want. I'll drop the link one more time, because I think we're going to soon end, but we will be back. And I was going to sort of like do my first live on the OGs in South LA, which you should come to as well, Ken, because I think they've done, between them, the three of them or four of them maybe, they've done over 100 years in one sentence. They all got life sentences.
Wow.
They're second generation Bloods. So they were part and parcel of creating this whole thing. But what, we can talk about culture as well, and gang culture. They're not here to sort of like tell people how brilliant gang culture is, because they knew no better. They knew no better, that they groomed their sons. They groomed their sons because they knew no better. So when they came out after, imagine doing 33 years in one sentence. One was not meant to come out. He did 40 years. Came out with one leg, but he did 40 years. And imagine doing that amount of time in one sentence and then coming out. So we've got one that's done 25, one that's done 33, one that's done 30, one that's done 40, and they've come out, and it's going to be interesting. I've been filming them, obviously, and it's going to be interesting to hear their message. And I think I would like you on the panel, Sheldon Thomas on the panel as well, because I think it sends out a message. They can help, because we haven't got, when you look at what they have been through and how their world works, we haven't got gang culture. Their youths really are involved in gang culture, because you in here in a gang, you won't get granny, auntie, uncle, cousin, gang members. Do you know what I mean? Mum, dad, gang members. You won't get that. But that's the way. That's the life that the youths grow up in. So it really is a culture. They know no better. They're born into it. They know no better, and they can't understand why the police are harassing them.
Wow.
You know, and like I said, these OGs, as they came out doing their life sentences, their sons went in and got life sentences as well.
Yeah.
Because they knew no better. These guys will tell you what they did. But I'm glad to say there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and I like them because they're not bitter about it. Not everybody comes out like that. They went in 1986.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, they went in 1986. And they will tell you they've done very well. They've steered away from it, but my film is OG for life, because you can never leave that gang. There's young ones now that's coming up, and you know, if they get shooting OG, killing OG, then you know they get their stripes. So you know they still have to watch themselves, and
of course.
You know,
like everything else, what you throw out there, that back negative energy could come back somewhere and bite you. When you taste blood, you know it's out there. You know, and the fact is that I've turned my life around only because I've said to myself that you know there has to be another way, right? And the other way is, before I used to have to look over my shoulders, but
they still do living in the situation that they live in living in South LA. I mean, it's full of, you know, I mean, it's full of it.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter who you are. Look at Nipsey Hussle, and that's how I met them, because I went back after meeting them, after seeing a clip that Nipsey Hussle was talking about. It's gang first. Even though he had all the Hollywood lifestyle, this, that, and the other, he was a Crip first. So I wanted to understand what that was all about. I needed to understand what that was all about, because he didn't need to be. It was a senseless killing anyway, and I wanted to know why. You know, and meeting these guys, they sort of like opened my eyes to it. So they're coming on. They've agreed to come on, and that was meant to be my first. But because people were complaining so much about this carnival, I thought, let's do something here. I'll be more prepared next time. There'll be more people on, but and I will build the channel. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing, don't you, Ken, that we can talk about these things. You know,
I must say, I love the space. I love your space there. Really, absolutely gorgeous. Right? Yeah. So I'm going to have to just step up my game now.
What your game in what?
My crib.
Oh, you think this is my crib? This is just a fucking virtual. Excuse me.
Is it?
Yeah, it looks good, isn't it? Oh, why did I have to tell you that? My flat is going to be like this, though. My flat is. My flat is a bit like that, anyway.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that, yeah. But I don't. I've changed the lightness of the sofas, because the stitching gets dirty. You know, someone sits there with blue jeans, brand new blue jeans. The stitching just gets dirty on those light coloured. You know.
Look, very similar to my one here. But see.
Look at that. See, like you got beautiful. Yeah, that's lovely.
I'm gonna have to, because I said I've done it.
That luxury pad. I hope you ain't had that party, that housewarming party without inviting us.
No. I'm going to invite you, because you know what? I said I'm going to have to put some food on them.
When is that then? It's been a long time. Ken.
I know, but it's
been a long time.
It's
You're wearing the place out. It's not new no more.
Yes, but I'm still working on the menu.
Yeah, it's a place. So you settled in there. Are you mainly on your own in there, or
Yes,
someone living with
yes.
you?
No, it's absolutely. I don't invite anybody to the place here now.
No, not
I
now.
keep it kind of. And I said, if you see the kitchen, look at that. Huh? Let me see if I can get it right here. It's absolutely amazing. But anyway, I just have to take my word for it until you come
Yeah,
down and
no,
see it in person.
I do think it's going to be brilliant. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Have you? Yeah, it's nice. It's not glossy white. Yeah, yeah.
It's a really.
Have you done the garden yet?
Yeah, well, the garden's just neat. It's neat. That's as far as it goes.
You
Because
put
I'm not.
grass down, or what have you?
Yeah. The grass is down. It's all neat and tidy. Yeah,
Mm.
really. Yes. Where is it?
So you built yourself a
Look.
castle. All right, okay.
Yeah.
It's neat. You've cleaned it up.
Yeah. I kind of make it. Yeah. Livable. So it's great. No, it's really, really nice space to come back into. Yeah.
Um, Susie, that is it's going to be. I'll keep. So I hope you subscribe, Susie. Please subscribe and hit the like. Subscribe and hit the notification bell. You too, Ken. Hit the like and the notification bell, so and then you'll know when the next show is on.
I don't even know. You talk about these things. Them things are foreign to me. Because
Well,
I had so much.
there's a notification when you go to the channel. Yeah, there's a notification bell. You'll find it. You'll work it out, Susie. I'm sure you can work it out. Hit the
But it look,
notification bell, and I will be announcing it on my Facebook page anyway. But these guys are just going to be there. I mean, not all the time. It's going to be, interviews. This channel's not all going to be interviews. Sometimes we could just get on here, have a drink, and just banter. Do you know what I mean? You don't drink no more, so you can have a soda. Ken.
yes.
But that interview, it's going to be groundbreaking. It's going to be groundbreaking, Susie. It's going to be in the next couple of weeks. I'm just sorting out. I think I'm going to do it on a Sunday because I know that they're a Sunday around 9:00 because I think the time difference. They're in South LA, but they're going to tell you that. I mean, obviously not every bit of the story because then you won't watch the documentary, but there's 4 of them. Hopefully the 4, I know definitely one of the main ones. I speak to all of them anyway. They'll all be anxious to do it. They like to do anything that is a positive thing, and they trust me. They don't do social media. They don't do interviews, but they trusted me. A lot of people felt that because I went back out there on my own, that, oh my God, you're going out there with the Bloods and Crips. Oh my God, that is terrible. Aren't you scared? No, I wasn't. I just trusted my own instincts. And they will tell their stories. And I think it's going to be really interesting and eye-opening and emotional in some ways. It's going to be emotional because I will be showing you the initial clip, the trailer as well. So that would be, but just look out, keep your eye on my page, and if you hit the notification bell on my YouTube page, that will let you know that what's coming up next. When I've scheduled the live, yeah. But I'm going to give it a bit more time so I don't want to waste this interview. I want loads of people to see it. So I'm going to, it will be in the next couple of weeks, but it will be on Sunday. Probably not this Sunday, probably next Sunday. So I just got to organize it with them to make sure that everything's okay. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be something really special. And that was the first one I was meant to come with. But yeah, they're amazing. They're amazing. To think that, okay, there was a murder, but then there's a lot of controversy around that because one of them was not even in South LA at the time. So he did that time, there was a murder, and that's what they do, tick for tack, you know. I'm not saying that any of them did it or anything, but they all went down anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And to think that they've come out and, you know, I mean, to know what they've missed a lot. They've missed presidents, they've missed dance crazes, music genres, all sorts of things they've missed.
They missed the most important thing: their children growing up.
They missed their children growing up, and sadly, a few of them knew when their mother was visiting them. When she walked out, they knew that was the last time that she was going to see her. They was going to see her, so they lost their parents.
Yeah.
One came out and was there at his dad's funeral, but they lost their parents. There's so many different reasons why. One lost his parent, you know, he died of cancer, and they remembered she died of cancer. They remember the whispering, and they were going to run away. But then they were brought to South LA. They were brought to South LA to do better. You know, Auntie can look after you in South LA. But South LA was the wrong place to be for them, because that involved one of them in the gang. One of them, you know, Daddy didn't buy him the car. You know, he was looking forward to his car that he'd bought everybody else, all the other siblings at a certain age. He didn't get his car, so he went on the streets. He went mad, you know, and did bad things. Another one was bullied, big time bullied. Big time. But remember, a lot of these they all had elders that were gang members. You know, so when that gang member went inside, they would hold the fort. So it was, you know, innocently. And so slowly they got brought into the gang. There was no jumping in or anything like that. That wasn't existent. No, that wasn't it. Back in the day. And the other thing is, it evolved around the same time as Black Panthers. So you got one side fighting for justice and civil rights, and then you got the other side fighting amongst each other. So some of them could have easily become Panthers, but them Panthers that were going black power with their leather jackets, those leather jackets become commodities. Oh my God, the leather jacket. Yeah, so they were robbing the Panthers. The leather jackets. You know, it was just crazy. You know, so it's a really interesting story, and I think that these guys, you know, you definitely have to be at this one, definitely. So, without further ado, I would like to say thank you for the ones that did tune in. You know, it was a short notice, so I wasn't expecting very much, but thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you at the next one.
Okay.
So thank you very much, and I'll just leave you with this.